Emma Sanders had been working at Rosie's Diner for 5 years. Located in a sleepy little town on the edge of nowhere, the diner was the heart of the community. Everyone knew everyone, and stories were exchanged over steaming cups of coffee and greasy plates of eggs and bacon. Emma, with her warm smile and quick wit, was beloved by all. But while she enjoyed the camaraderie of the diner, life was tough. Bills piled up faster than she could pay them, and her dreams of going back to school seemed to drift further away with each passing year. One chilly November evening, the usual hum of conversation in the diner was interrupted by the doorbell jingling. Emma glanced up and saw a man shuffling in. His appearance was striking. Unkempt hair, a scruffy beard, and clothes that looked like they had seen better days decades ago. He carried a small, worn backpack and walked with a slight limp. His eyes were downcast, avoiding the curious gazes of the other patrons as he slid into the booth furthest from the counter. Emma grabbed a menu and walked over, her smile as genuine as ever. "Hi there," she said cheerfully. "Can I get you started with some coffee?" The man hesitated, his voice barely a whisper. "Just water, please." Emma's heart ached at the simplicity of his request. She had seen men like him before, lost, struggling, and clinging to what little dignity they had left. Without saying another word, she went to the kitchen and told the cook to whip up a hot meal. A few minutes later, she returned with a plate of Rosie's special, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and green beans, and a cup of steaming coffee. "This is on me," she said gently, placing the food in front of him. "Eat up." The man looked up for the first time, his eyes brimming with a mix of gratitude and disbelief. "You don't have to do this," he said softly. "I know," Emma replied with a shrug, "but everyone needs a good meal now and then." He ate slowly, savoring every bite as if it were a luxury. Emma left him alone, checking in only to refill his coffee. When he finally finished, he approached the counter, reaching into his pocket and pulling out a crumpled $5 bill. "Thank you," he said, his voice steady now. "This is all I have, but I want you to take it." Emma shook her head. "Keep it. Use it for something you need." The man stared at her for a moment, his expression unreadable. Then with a small nod, he turned and left, disappearing into the cold night. The next day, Emma was back at work, the previous evening already a distant memory. Around noon, the diner's quiet routine was disrupted by the arrival of a sleek black car. It pulled up to the curb, and out stepped a sharply dressed man carrying a briefcase. He entered the diner and scanned the room before his eyes landed on Emma. "Are you Emma Sanders?" he asked. Emma nodded cautiously. "That's me." The man handed her an envelope. "This is for you," he said, "from someone who is very grateful for your kindness." Before Emma could ask any questions, the man turned and walked out. She stood there bewildered, staring at the envelope in her hands. The other patrons watched curiously as she carefully opened it. Inside was a handwritten letter and a check.